Hello guys, so this is a little bit different from what I normally do, but during my little break, I know it's been a little while since I've posted anything, but I've been taking a little break in between exams. I've still got so many exams, I'm serious, like multiple exams every week for the past 4 weeks. No exaggeration, I'm not kidding, it's been insane. But I've got a short break, so I thought I would show you something that I've been working on a little on a multiplayer Minecraft server. I would rather not explain the details as to why I chose this specific color scheme over there, but I've been playing around with different ideas. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep everything this way in the future if I do continue to work on this server. But here's what I've been doing so far. So I've got these couple of towers. You know what? Let me go down to the bottom first. Just kind of give you a big view of everything. So I've got four of these things around this big center structure there. So I'm not very good at this, describing something like this. It's not what I'm used to doing in videos. So let me know how it goes. I might do stuff in the future. This is what I've been working on the last 2 days. Yeah. The last 2 days I've mostly been focusing on this to replace a castle structure that I was doing in another area that I'll show you guys later. As you can see, it hasn't been very well lit yet. Like I said, I've mostly just been focusing on the actual structure itself. So I've got this little staircase right here. It's not the greatest, but it's decent. And yeah, I know that this is stone and this is iron, but like I said, like I haven't said, I guess. I like iron for the color scheme, and it makes it really easy for me to see things and how they need to be built. And then I was going to go through and change all the material to either sandstone or cobblestone, stone brick, something like that, once I'm done with the entire structure. So this is what I've got so far. I have not built a staircase up to the higher areas, such as this one here. So I've got this big balcony platform around here in the center. Then I've got a structure here with a kind of curved roof up to there. And like I said, when I get to it, I'm gonna there we go. I'm gonna build a staircase like that going up to the top. Let me show you what's on top of this. So we've got these sort of things that are supposed to kind of look like flags, right? Now, if I remember correctly, it's been a little while since I built this part of the structure. If I remember this part correctly, it should be not hollow, I think, this section here. If it is, I'll turn it into another room. If not, I won't. I'll just build straight up into this, which is the top scene. Again, nothing's very detailed. There's no real purpose to these buildings. It's more for aesthetic. At the time, I've tried to keep everything well lit up here, at least to a decent extent. Not really well, I'll admit, but it serves a good purpose. It kind of looks like snowy mountains, I just realized. Hopefully that'll change when I actually change all the material around. So, again, what we've got here, we've got these 5 major little areas, and I liked the idea of having these not particularly set in this little sphere, cylinder, whatever you want to call it here, depending on what your commands you're using to make these. So I set them off at the corners, and then I built into these little curving structures that would look like supports. I know it's not very much, but I think it kind of adds to the whole structure. I like using curves. I like using curved like spheres and stuff. And then I would add more posts to make it look like, to at least make the structure itself look a bit more believable. I know it doesn't make much sense according to Minecraft physics, but hey, I kind of wanted to make it look somewhat realistic, like this could possibly happen. Okay, so then, like I said, we have that balcony. Oh, we've got this curved balcony. Let me go down below the cloud level so you can see this a bit better. So we've got this cylinder, again, depending on your commands, around here that goes through these. I have not built a staircase, but I'll explain that a bit later. Just today I went through and replaced the little walls that I had built with black wool, just to kind of see the color scheme, how it would work out. I considered obsidian, but black wool I think has the real black texture that I'm looking for this. And it makes me want to leave this as iron, honestly. I might leave the steps as iron just because I think it contrasts well with the black wool, but enough of that. So it goes all the way around. I'm going to just give you a quick view of this real quick, and then I'll move on to these other structures around here. So, I mean, you have an idea. I kind of kept this bit lit up. There's no balconies on the side because I've got those up there, and I thought it would be kind of just overkill to have them. Another big thing I'm a fan of with large structures like this, a gigantic arched doorway. I love those. I love the way they look in a Minecraft structure. I like the way they look with like castles and palaces. So I played around with it a lot here. And again, there's where I would build the spiral staircase leading up there. Alright, and then let's move on to these, and we'll just work our way down from here. So, let's look at this one. So, let's start way up here. So I've got these 4 little structures here. And I've got, in each one, I've got a set of ladders, a triple set of ladders on either side. Ooh, well that's a mishap. Let's put those there. That's embarrassing. Got it kind of well lit. As you can see, it's similar structures to the one we have on the center of the palace. And if I were to go down one of these, it would just take me into a larger room. Again, there's nothing special here yet. I may possibly build a mid-level in the future. I really like high ceilings, again, in large structures. I think, because I'm the kind of person that will get claustrophobic in a video game. I know it's really stupid, but I really like having large ceilings. It kind of how I am in real life too. I like having large roofs and ceilings in a room. But so I've got these in every one of those structures. I tried to keep it well lit again. I've tried to focus on doing that in case I do implement this in the main section of the server, which is, I believe, off in that direction. I don't know. Let me that way. Yeah, so the main portion of the server is way off in that direction. I'll actually get to that later because this was a secret project I've been working on in addition to the city I've been constructing with one of my partners. And then I've got these little these curved bridges. Again, another thing I'm a big fan of, these little things that kind of look like hanging bridges. Obviously not very much when it's all made of iron, but if it were wood, it would totally look like a hanging bridge. Okay? Gosh. So I got that. Again, I've got these all up around the 4 different towers. Let's work our way down. Again, for reasons that I don't want to get into, a lot of the color scheme had to be centered around rainbows. Do not ask, please. So I decided, upon suggestions, to build rainbow fountains. I know. Could it get any worse? Don't ask. Believe it or not, this is actually a really boss color scheme. If you knew why the rainbows were so central. So let's go further down to the support. Again, you know, like I have the curved bottoms and I have these curves coming off to support the towers. And then here, this was actually a little bit difficult. I had to kind of just give way, or just kind of ignore my OCD, my typically very OCD nature. And I set up this, and of course this isn't equal and opposite on both sides, and that annoys me. I've got my curved archways, which I love. Those are pretty similar. And these connects to the balcony, that's the walkway balcony thing that connects here. Now, I have not decided what to do with this area down here, whether I will just fill it in, which would be fairly easy, in my opinion. I haven't decided whether to make it a legit room on each of these structures, or whether I will fill it with, like, I don't know, like water and some sort of like fountain or whatever, some decoration. I've considered putting like little waterfalls going down here. I don't know how it would look. I might test it, might not. If any of you have comments on whether or not you think that would look good, let me know. But, so yeah, I've got 4 of those, as you can see, I hope, around. And then, let's go down here. So once you get below that section, this is really not that interesting. Like I said, I haven't built very much. I've only spent a couple of days on this project in between classes and exam studying and stuff. So here's another one of my large archways, large-ish, to a room I've got here. Again, not very special. This just goes out to the corners of the, I guess, plaza, you would call it. Okay, so let's move back to the center. This is the main center platform. Okay, yeah, this is pretty legit, right? Got a curved structure. Oh, it's just cylinder upon cylinder upon cylinder upon cylinder and such. and combined with my favorite structure, the large arched curved doorway, whatever thingy. And like I said, we've already been through here, but I wanted to highlight those doors because I love the doors. I think it's getting dark, so let me change that real quick. And yeah, this is my structure that I've been working on secretly. Shh, don't tell anyone. This is what I've been working on. I'll back up to kind of give you a better view if it's in entirety. Oh, don't you hate it when those little blocks just don't load right? Anyway, this is what I've got. I haven't decided whether to use it in the main city yet. I will get to that city. I'll show you what I'm talking about and where I wanted to put it and explain it. That city thing is kind of an abomination, honestly. when you look at it in its entirety, it's just overkill, and I feel like adding this would probably not do this particular structure any justice. So I don't know. I'll get back to that in a few seconds and I'll catch up with you guys there. Thanks. I'll be right back. All right, so here we are at the next city. Let me just go ahead and turn. Ooh, there we go. Let me go ahead and turn around. So we're on the docks of the front of the city that I was mentioning earlier. So here's the little dock area we've got. I know, a ridiculous amount of glowstone. You have no idea. Just wait. It's going to get a lot worse. I have not finished the lighting. This has been a long-lasting project. It's very difficult to get lighting in certain areas of the city, considering what I've gone through to do it. But, also, please don't laugh at the name of the city when we reach the command block area. It was not my idea. Okay? Not my idea whatsoever. So here's the main entrance that we originally started off with. Like, the very beginning. Yeah, like I said, don't laugh. I don't know if this area is still working. Let me go check, because I think I accidentally broke one of the blocks that my partner had set up. You see, he had set up this whole redstone circuit thing to work some piston magic, and yeah, I screwed it up pretty badly. I should not touch his circuits, but the thing is, it was so ugly. I mean, look at this. There's no aesthetic with that. Whatever. Like I said, tons of glowstone, and it's only going to get worse. So this is the main area. Now, as you might be able to notice, it's underwater. Yeah, this is what we originally started out with. Was about a third of this, and then later I added on a large portion over here as well as over there. So I'm going to kind of run you guys through a little area. These are just all the chests. All these chests you see, these were what we started with before I was an admin. We had to get, we were actually using our own material for everything. We had made this entire wall out of our own personal material to begin with before another admin came and changed it to stone brick for us to make it harder to break through. Again, this is all before I became an admin for the server and was able to use my special powers. Yes. And let me show you another thing that I managed to make entirely before I was an admin. Not this great, amazing thing here. Not this. I made this after I was an admin, but isn't this not amazing? At least if it weren't using an abhorrent amount of glowstone just ridiculously. I've been trying to replace a lot of this stuff with redstone lamps, so just relax. Oh no, the sheep and the cow are free again. Dang it. But anyway, so this little beauty. I know it's very simple, but again, this is my first major building before I started using commands and stuff. I made this all with my own material. So yeah, this was supposed to be what we're now using as a hotel, air quotes. It was originally going to be my kind of house. Then we decided that at least right after I finished this, I got the admin deal, and I decided there really wasn't any point in having a house at that point, because you don't need to have somewhere to store all your stuff. So we broke the upstairs into a bunch of little rooms and made this into a hotel. And so I added shelves and the desktop and the fireplace at that point. So let's go up here and let me show you what we've got on the next floor. All right, so up here we got where the fireplace goes to. I should probably close this off. This would be very bad. I'll get to that later. What could happen? let's go to the front. We've got our railing. Looks out over to the front. By the way, that little center we will get to later. Do not worry. Now, I originally had 2 doors, like one here and one here. And then we decided to break this into like a little hotel space. So we removed the doors. We broke this huge, originally huge area into 4 smaller sections with a hallway. And let me open up one of these. This particular section has not been completed. This was the original model. Let me go over to the other side and show you what we added into some of these rooms. After we threw in the windows, ooh, not in this one, but close. They're very simple room structures. Like it's, guess he must have removed it. But I guess he removed the switches. Well, anyway, I'll add them in later when this is done. But they're very simple rooms, nothing special. We'll probably throw in like a public chest in each one of them at some point. So you've got your beds, you've got a glowstone lamp, which we are going to put switches on. Like I said, like I was talking about, or as I was mentioning. And it'll be like a really simple room, nothing major. We don't think too many people will want to build under here just yet, not until we can possibly get more space out or find better looking lighting. As you can see, it varies. There may be a little lag, I hope not, but there might be. So you can see it varies because right now we're mostly just throwing around lighting to keep areas lit until it's safe, until we have time to work on these particular areas. These lots are supposed to be areas for people to kind of rent or own land and build on it. Then we've got various gardens that we were starting for material at the time for my partner to use, and then eventually we're going to just redesign these bits into gardens and whatnot. That was originally like kind of what was going on here until I managed to clear out this huge space underwater, and I decided to just redesign this as a kind of park-like area. Over here was nothing major. It was originally the start of a public access mine, but I built a new one. And then up here we've got a railing. I've been playing around with this idea. I'll probably get rid of these bits here because they're just really obtrusive. But I liked having this railing around the edge. The problem is that it gets into territory of these homes. So I'll probably do away with most of this. It was originally a good idea until we added in houses on the edge. I'll have to remove either those houses that border the wall or get rid of this railing. It's one of those. Personally, I'd like it to just destroy this entire door here. Like I said, just redo it with something fabulous, like a gigantic archway of rainbows. Kidding. I would like a nice, giant, pretty archway, though. Just something much more aesthetic than that block of stone. Over here was a pen that we were having for just basic mobs, you know, nothing serious, a little waterfall for aesthetic. And then over here, this is something I was particularly proud of. This is something this is an example of what I had built after admin abilities were capable for me. Again, nothing major, really simple structure. Let's start at the top and work our way down. Now, over in this is just a basic room. It probably won't be anything serious. It might be used for meetings or whatever, because this is supposed to be our trade center. This is where we were going to have a public market for the town, where my partner and a couple other suppliers would basically create a town market. Let me turn back to this. Sorry, I lost my mouse control there. They'll create a town market, and that'll mostly be down here. And then upstairs, go away while you are drunk. Go home while you are drunk. And upstairs, one of my partners built some sort of trading system so as to help with other members and players on the server to trade one-on-one. I have no clue how this works, to be honest. I'm not very good with most circuits. The most I can do with redstone, honestly, is make a redstone lamp. That's really the extent of my knowledge. I'm not very good at that, so sue me. Whatever. So here we've got like a front desk area. Again, something kind of typical of my structures. This is quite stupid. I'll probably get rid of these, honestly, because I added windows at first because the trade center was going to be over here in this area. But then I realized that because of how wide it is, how long it is from end to end, it took up too much space and it was very obtrusive and in the way if anyone wanted to build back here, so I just moved it to this back wall. So I'll get rid of these windows eventually and just replace it with like sandstone, or I don't know. Maybe I'll put chests along this back wall here for the public access market. Okay, and then, as I mentioned before, I had built a new mine, or started building a new mine, and this is what we have here. Nothing major, nothing serious right now. We're kind of just digging it out, making the area bigger, easier for people to access. Nothing major. I've let a couple players go through and just kind of free mine everything. I'll probably come in here and make some spheres of air, just clear some stuff out later. Install some lighting. That sounded really professional for a video game, honestly. And then over here, this is something that I was particularly proud of for a little while. This is an entrance to a mob zoo, and I know it's not really incredible. It's not new territory, but it was something that I was kind of proud of just because of the time that I put into it at first. At first, I cleared out a huge area underground and made this little structure here. Don't mind that little platform over there. That was from the original version of the zoo before I decided to make this humongoid structure. Again, ridiculous amount of glowstone, and I apologize for any lag that occurs in the video because of this. Most of this glowstone was just made so that my building partners and I could work to create it, to add to this. And yes, another thing you might be wondering is, well, how do these mobs even spawn with all this lighting? They don't. We're going to get rid of most of this glowstone in the containment areas once construction has been completed. It doesn't really make much sense for us to have too many mobs in here as it is, because in case you haven't noticed, there are some spaces outside. Let me just kind of explain to you what I mean. There are some places outside where mobs might attack some of my fellow workers, and to be helpful to them, I will use, the butcher commands and whatnot to take care of those. And if you have a mob zoo, using the butcher command is going to take care of those guys too, including any squids you might have in this little handy-dandy floor aquarium that I have right here. Now, I think the particular problem with this is that this is not deep enough, and I will work on moving the floor down. And you probably can't see very much because the water just makes it really dark, man. It makes it so hard to see, which is why I usually have to put so much glowstone and redstone lamps up. This is another containment area. We haven't decided on much. Most of this will probably be built around the more dangerous mobs. I have one area down here which is nothing but like the basic mobs. I know, it's weird because we already have all that pen of basic mobs upstairs, but I thought maybe if I mixed them in with some mushrooms, one of my personal favorites, and my building partner's least favorite, I love to screw with him and just dump hundreds of these little guys in his house just to mess with him. He hates them. I don't know why. But yeah, so this is my little mob zoo. Now we're going to go upstairs. I would teleport up there, I know, to save time, but the server is a little laggy. So if I use teleport too often, it will lag me for a few minutes after I've completed the teleport. And that would just be really detrimental. So we're going to go up the old-fashioned way. We are going to go up this. This was our original, or not our original, but our main means of locomotion to and from the different levels. So we're going to go up this little waterfall or water elevator, if you don't mind, and go back to where we started at the front. And thankfully it is nighttime, which I feel makes this next portion light up just really well. Ba-ba. Oh no, it's not loading. Load, dang it. Oh well. Hold on. Let me go up a bit. There we go. Bum-bum. Ba-ba-da. See, nothing's loading. This sucks. Oh, this is anticlimactic. Kind of depressing. As you know, Minecraft does have clouds and has these little wisps of stuff. I don't really like them. I wish that they had done them kind of like this. Right, I've got here I used a brush tool to create a bunch of these spheres, and then I put a wood platform on it. I know it kind of takes away from the whole city in the sky deal, making the wood platform. But you work with what you got. Some people don't like building straight on the clouds. It's just not aesthetic, apparently. I don't know. But on top of our underwater base, I, through quite an interesting story, found out about doing these little waterfalls. I will explain how I came to that idea later. But here's what I was doing before. Another admin created this little biosphere for me. And we'll get to that later. Don't worry. I'm just going through a little bit at a time. And then I thought, after we created this water elevator, I thought about having platforms built around it. So I took this wood platform here and I built around it. See, here's that stupid little command block thing giving us the name. It goes a little crazy with that. So I built a couple platforms. Anyway, nothing major around that. And then I built another platform out here to connect the two. And it's nothing major. We were planning to do a minecart system, going around it kind of like a whole roller coaster deal or whatever. Nothing too complicated. Something pretty basic for a lot of your major structures and homes. Then over here, on each of the corners, I built a double sphere tower kind of deal. We haven't really decided what to use these for, honestly. Most of what I did has been purely for the aesthetic purposes. I really like these houses, though. Down here, you got a little waterfall and then a ladder on each of these that goes up to the next floor. So it would have been like floor 1, 2, and 3, or 1 and 2, depending on how you want to look at it. I haven't done much to these except kind of throw in the basic amenities around the different buildings. Like some have libraries and enchanting tables. Some have anvils, and some have really nothing yet. Oops, forgot there was the floor there. Nothing major. So let me just go give you a quick look around for those. They're all a little different. I kind of like not having them perfectly symmetric. I like the idea of having a little differences, especially out in here, where I made little wooden platform balconies going out into these jungle trees that I set up. Oh, Spider, what are you doing here? You should not be here, Spider. Spider, go home, for you are drunk. Is that a cave spider? Yes, it is. I believe that is a cave spider in the jungle. Go home, cave spider. You are drunk. Okay, so I've got these little platforms, and then another little thing I liked that a partner gave me the idea for was these little tree pathways. These little pathways out of the leaves that we did that lead to the other balconies here, and then if I were to go on, you'd see. Let me just fly over here real quick and just give you a look-see. This goes down here and goes to our next two balconies. Again, these aren't very complicated. Most of what we did was get the basic or major structures in line, and that way when other people come to build on it, they can customize as they see fit. I did, just to see how it would look, build a small basic house. Nothing complicated, just to kind of see how it would look if it were surrounded in the leaves. Again, super basic, like nothing major whatsoever. There's no bed, there's nothing in here. There's a ladder that goes up to like this area, and that's really it. I mean, like I said, I just wanted to see how it would look. So now let's go back to the front, and then I will take you guys up to the biosphere. Here's the balcony, by the way. I don't know why, I just kind of thought the front should have a balcony, because I'm goofy like that. So we got a gigantic glass biosphere, really simple, really well lit, pathway. This is where you would go to the water elevator, and then, let's see, that's our front, right? Yeah. Then on each of the other sides, we have entrances out into what we were beginning as a city in the sky. Now, right off the bat, you might notice something really bad about this, besides the, again, ridiculous amount of glowstones hanging around. You might notice that there are these clouds that would get in the way, and even if you would put a wall of something in front of them, those clouds will go through them, because that's just how Minecraft physics work, apparently. Ah, well. That's why this has been kind of a little bit of a failure. But there's one thing that I did manage to fix that with, and that's whenever it decides to load this little area here. Now, this is not as great as the structure that I showed you at the beginning of this video series, depending on how long this ends up. Let this load, and I'll show you. This is the original structure that I had made, and that's the one that I have been building that first structure to replace, because it's an okay structure. I mean, all in all, considering my lack of experience with Minecraft, I think it's pretty decent, a pretty good start, but it's nothing to really brag about. You know, it could have been a lot better. If anything, I like how I did this. Just honestly, this is about it. You know, I made that. I like that. And I like my walls, because I love the way castle walls look when they arch up like this, you know? Ever seen that? It's just a cool look. But again, nothing major. Honestly, if anything, I think I was more interested in the carvings here than anything. So you might see some similarities between this and the other structures, such as the obvious rainbow color scheme, the use of iron and diamond flags. And then here's the major bit. I was designing this without realizing that I had made the pot out of gold and what that would look like. The idea is that this was supposed to look as a sort of like a rainbow weather production factory. I don't know if that makes any sense. It was an idea that I had been posted, and someone asked me to build one, so I started building this for them. So I built the idea was to have a giant vat that was just like making liquefied rainbows, and they would like spring forth or whatever. And I thought, well, there's no bronze in the game, so let's just go with gold. I did not think whatsoever about the whole gold at the end of the rainbow thing. I know. How did I not think of that? How did I not notice that I had basically set that up? A pot of gold. That's so sad that I did that. But this is what I started with. And then I wanted to replace it with that gigantic iron structure that I showed you at the beginning of this video. So you guys let me know. I think that along with all of this, it would just be overkill. Honestly, I think this is fine where it is. I want to use that other structure to start a new city somewhere, maybe in a desert biome or possibly jungle. I haven't worked out the kinks yet. I've been testing different materials, seeing how it looks and works out with the surroundings. So if you guys have any ideas, be sure to let me know. I love getting suggestions about stuff like that. Oh yeah. I did mention I was going to talk about how I came up with the idea for the waterfall. It actually has to do with this little baby here. Something that the admins on the server like to do. If a person gets out of line, we don't just like to jump straight to banning. I feel like that's just ridiculous when you think about it. So I'm going to switch to Canvas to see if this will work. So I have this giant glass sphere. I did not always have the giant glass sphere. I actually had a giant lava sphere without this surrounding it, and I was working on setting up regions, but I wasn't very good at doing the pause one, like the command pause one and stuff. I wasn't very good at setting it up, so I was trying to make a boundary for me to select using the wooden axe tool. If any of you are familiar with it, basically, if you're not, you would like strike one corner here, and then you would right click the other corner, and then that would make a cube selection for a region. May not make any sense if you don't understand what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, it's kind of difficult to explain. But I originally did not have this glass covering, and I tried to make a little corner on the sphere so I could select the entire region to make it unbreakable. And it was a very stupid move. The lava broke from the sphere, spilled out all over the nice admin's biosphere. And I, again, was not very good at commands at the time. In fact, I was doing almost everything entirely by hand. So I used water to put it all out because I was not sure how to remove lava, especially for moving lava. Flowing lava it acts differently from static standing lava. Whereas, if you do like a remove near kind of deal, it will remove static lava, but apparently does not remove free moving lava. So I used water to clear it out, and I found out that water makes a very nice looking waterfall around it, and that's where I came up with that idea. Excuse me. But real quick, hopefully, I can show you what I was talking about. Inside here, the admins on this server, we like to do something else with the people who kind of go out of line and do stupid stuff to the other players. We build an impenetrable fortress, usually inside an area. In one area of the server, it's like a tiny little ice cube. Personally, I think this is a bit more impressive, and I like impressive a lot. So I would teleport any unruly players into this little lava prison, at least while I'm the reigning admin in charge at the time, which is lately kind of often, but I don't know, whatever. And they'll just be kind of stuck in here because I can make the region unbreakable. Just, I know it's not the technical term, but just to make it easy to understand for someone who might not be as familiar with the Minecraft game mechanics. Again, it was kind of difficult for me to understand at first. It's kind of something I have to work with. It took me about a week just to get most of these commands down. The only thing I was capable of doing was generating spheres. I had no clue how to do, like I said, the position markers. But anyway, lava really lags me out, so I'm going to get out of this real quick. And there we go. And that has been everything I've worked on this server so far. I know it's not very much, but like I said, I'm working on new projects. This was kind of I feel like this kind of took a lot of bad directions. In many ways, it's a very impressive structure, but at the same time, it feels kind of goofy now. It's just so much going on. Maybe if it were a little bigger, because it's very large vertically, which is something that none of the other cities on the server have, but they're much wider, you know, on a horizontal ground level. But like I said, I'm hoping to build some more cities that aren't as crazy. My mouse is going crazy. But anyway, I want to thank you guys if you tuned in for this. If you have any suggestions, again, I'm not a great Minecrafter. I've just gone over basics. I only just, like, I understand how to use most world edit kind of deals, and I try to put that to use. But if you guys have any suggestions for this, please let me know. Like I said, I like to serve pretty well. I think this is possibly the best that I do at any video game, is maybe constructing in Minecraft, and that's kind of sad because I'm really terrible at this, to be honest. But yeah, this is pretty much all that I've done, or this is completely everything, or that I've done completely. Like, I've spent a week all on this, just myself doing this. Pretty much, I reconstructed the dock. I basically built almost everything down there and below ground, above. I've basically built all of this except for this dome here and this entryway and that door down there and the small glass trading area in there. Everything else I have constructed myself. So I think, considering the amount of time I've done that in and the lack of experience I have with major complicated structures, I think I did pretty well. But you guys let me know what you think, or what you think I should do with that other White Palace kind of deal going on. Whether I should make it into a new city, whether I should add it to this. Personally, I think it deserves better and should be made into its own city. Maybe something off in the desert or jungle, something really decent. No, really, I don't know. I just think it deserves better than to be added on, to be an addition to this. I think it deserves to be the center of its own nation. Yeah. But you guys let me know. Or if you have any suggestions for what material it should be finished, the finished project should be made out of. Thanks again for watching. I know I've kind of talked myself silly in this. This has been really lame if you're not into Minecraft structures. Even if you are, this has probably been really lame, because this is not a finished project. I'm not sure if I will be able to finish it in the future time, because it has taken up so much of my time already. I really need to move on to other projects and still focus on school and everything. So I will probably be taking a break, if not cutting off my work with this particular project. I will finish that palace over there, and I will at least begin another city for someone else to finish. if they would like, but for the most part, my involvement in these projects is almost done, simply because it has taken up so much of my time, and I need to put that time into other projects that I've had lined up in the past. But I want to thank you guys for sticking with this and watching again. Check out some of my other videos if you were interested by this. They are nothing like this, I promise you. Well, I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know. I mean, this is pretty boring, I guess. I'm sure some of my other videos are. Oh, well. But if you were interested, let me know. Leave a comment with any suggestions. If you have anything you want me to try, again, I'm up to a lot of stuff. Even Minecraft, other types of multiplayer servers. I've done a lot of MineZ. Oh my gosh, such a great server type. You should totally check it out. I may do some videos for it in the near future. But and if you want to stick around for future adventures, just let me know. Or subscribe stuff. Yeah, just go ahead and subscribe for future adventures. I want to thank you guys one last time, and remember, this is EJNinja, and I am really tired. That's not what I meant to say. I am really tired though. Remember, this is EJNinja, and this is me missing you. Alright, EJNinja out. Bye bye guys. Thanks again.